honor and a privilege to introduce our main speaker tonight, which is a good friend of mine and somebody I met in the program about 5-6 years ago, and his name's Todd M.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name's Todd, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm so blessed to be here, and I'm so blessed to be alive today. I'm truly blessed. I just want to let y'all know that, it doesn't matter where you come from, rich or poor, it doesn't matter what color you are. If you have the disease of alcoholism, it wants to get you alone and kill you. And I'm very grateful to be known that I'm armed with the facts about my disease. On a good day or a bad day, I drank. It really didn't matter. And what it used to be like, what happened, and what it's like now. I was raised by a single mother. I was adopted when I was 5 days old. And my manipulation skills started at a really young age. I remember being 7 years old, and I didn't understand what was wrong with my mom. And she was drinking, and she'd be aggressive towards me, and she would be slurring her words and acting kind of weird, and I really didn't understand until I got a little bit older. And so my manipulation started, she'd be drinking, and I would ask her as a kid, hey, let me get this, and she said, she would give it to me out of guilt because she was drinking, And so, like I said, my manipulation started at a young age. I was really into sports, and at first it started off just stealing some beers after school, going to the 7-Eleven, stealing beers. I was just kind of like a normal kid. That's what I'm saying. It really doesn't matter where you come from, and I'm just so grateful that, growing up, it was, I had a good childhood. And I didn't get in a lot of trouble at first, When I started getting into trouble was when I was of age to drink. I would go to bars, I would go to clubs and drink, and I got there driving. I would drive home, and the trouble seemed to, I would get away with it a couple times, so I thought I was good. And eventually I got some DUIs in California. I got 2 DUIs. And, for me, the DUIs don't stop me from drinking, All trouble that I ever got into didn't stop me from drinking. My daughter being born did not stop me from drinking. Anything good in my life that happened and all the consequences, that happened in my life didn't stop me from drinking, And so, jail, it didn't work for me. I'll get locked up for a little while, and I would think these bright ideas about, I'm going to change my ways. I had no mental defense against that first drink. I would think about changing my ways, and then I would go right back to the streets, And it got to a point to where I came out here from California, and I came out here to be with my mom. She was going through breast cancer, and she's slowly dying, My mom got a job out here as a psych nurse at the women's prison. She was always like a family therapist when I was growing up. So she dealt with people that were dealing with losing their children from drugs and alcohol. I knew what she did. And when I moved out here with her, I was thinking about either getting into HVAC or becoming a bartender, because it's hot as hell out here, And as an alcoholic, what do you think I leaned towards? I started becoming a bartender. I went to bartending school. I was learning how to make mixed drinks, and there was beautiful women in the class, so I really enjoyed myself, And, I thought, here, I have arrived, you know what I mean? And, so this one time I'm driving home from the class, and I stop by and get another bottle of liquor, and I catch this 3rd DUI. All right. Now, this is Alcoholics Anonymous, but I started using cocaine in 8th grade, and when that guy ran out of the cocaine, there goes the meth, right? But you know, I'm like a garbage can. Give me anything you got, right? To make me feel different. It doesn't matter what you have. I just want to not be in my own skin, you know. So when I got that third DUI, you know, I'm in jail, and I'm talking to my mom on the phone, and she's getting worse. You know, she's dying from breast cancer. You know, and I say this foxhole prayer while I'm in jail. And I say, God, I don't know what it looks like, but please help me. Let me get out to see my mom before she passes away. And I get out a week before she passes away. Now, I'd like to look you in the eye and tell you that when I got out, I was there for my mother, right? I might have been there for her physically, but I was not there for her emotionally and mentally, you know? For me, when I get out, I go straight to the bottle. I go straight to anything that I could get my hands on. You know, I'm the type of guy that, you know, if I have a court date and I'm gonna go into court, it talks about that in the big book, getting tight at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? So for me, if I'm showing up to a court date, I'm showing up drunk. You know what I mean? If I'm showing up for a kid's birthday party, I'm showing up drunk. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, you know? And so I get out and I'm drinking and I'm drugging and, you know, I'm trying to be there for her, you know, but like I shared, on a good day or bad day, I drank, it didn't matter, you know, and when I'm going through some pain, I'm drinking even more, you know. And so she passes away a week after I get out, you know, and I'm in a foreclosed home under her name, and I'm selling all my appliances to get the next drink, the next drug, you know. You know, I hit some type of bottom spiritually, you know. I started, you know, just running amok on the streets and stuff like that. Eventually, I become homeless in Las Vegas. That was, my mom passed away in 2008. Or no, I came out here in 2008 with my mom. She passed away in 2011. And, you know, once I became homeless because I lost that foreclosed home that my mother had, you know, there was a trust and a will and all that. And I got some money from my mom, and I bought a whole bunch of music equipment, and I started putting all my energy into music because that was my outlet. Besides alcohol, that was my outlet to stay alive, and I was trying to do like inspirational hip hop, you know, and just really trying to express myself through my music. And yeah, so when I become homeless, you know, I'm the type of alcoholic, you guys, that you know, I don't eat a lot when I'm drinking because it ruins my buzz, you know. And you know, if I have $10 left to my name, I'm choosing alcohol. You know, I could steal my food, you know, or I could, you know, I could steal whatever I can get my hands on. I was the type of son that stole from his mother. I could look you in the eye and tell you the truth about myself, that my disease is more powerful than anybody I love. I step over the people I love to get the next drink. It does not matter. I don't lose things. I drink and smoke them away. That's my truth and my disease, you know. I'm so grateful when I came into Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm going to go back, but I'm so grateful that they told me, Todd, you're not a bad person. You're just a really sick person, you know. But yeah, when I become homeless, I'm running amok on the streets. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm so grateful for drugs. The reason why I tell you that is because I got a possession charge when I was homeless, and it introduced me to drug court. It introduced me to Freedom House. I got sober on Twain and Swenson at the Freedom House. And that's a great example, you guys, that you can get sober you can get drunk and high in the rich neighborhoods or the poor neighborhoods, and you can get sober in the hood. It really doesn't matter where you're at, you know, as long as I hit that spiritual bottom where I'm the type of alcoholic that I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of living how I was living for the rest of my life, you know, and dying means no more pain. living the rest of my life how I was living is scary to me, you know? And so I get this possession charge. I go in front of the judge. The judge is like 60 days of jail time. You know, one, I'm a good manipulator, like I told you. I said, Your Honor, jail doesn't really work for me. I need some help. I need some type of treatment. And I asked for drug court instead of 60 days of jail time. That was the first time I actually surrendered. I asked for help, and he granted me drug court and gave me a suspended sentence over my head if I don't, complete drug court. The second time I surrendered in front of the judge was I told the judge that I was homeless, and I don't think I could get sober on the streets, you know. And so that's when I went to Freedom House. There was a panel that came into Freedom House. I was in the outpatient at first, and then they looked at my chart and they said, man, this guy might need some inpatient, you know. So they sent me to inpatient, and it was a 3-month program. And there was H&I, which stands for hospitals and institutions. There was people that came that took their time out to come to these lockdown facilities and share their experience, strength, and hope with us that were in that facility. I'm so grateful for them because I heard a message of hope. That's why I love sharing. If you're breathing, there's hope, you know? And so I started off at the Freedom House. I started hanging around people that, had more experience of staying sober. It was like we were all in pain together, and basically I hung on to another alcoholic to stay sober, that was staying sober, and I saw people go out those doors. And the truth is a lot of people die. That's the reality of this disease, that, a lot of people die. They go out and they just never come back. And if they do come back, they're lucky to come back, And so it was a year program at Freedom House. I'm so grateful, I was 6 months sober. I'm at the Freedom House, and I hear these guys talk about they're working at the Westgate. And I just needed a job at the time, I really didn't know what it was all about. And my two friends, they were doing timeshare. And I applied, and yes, they take felons. And yes, I was in drug court. And, they gave me an opportunity, and when I come to the job, I'm shy as hell, and I'm, really uncomfortable in my own skin. And, 6 months sober, you're kind of still in the shell, and really not too much outgoing. I'm still just having this hope of, man, if I could stay sober, I might be able to make it. And I love sharing that as long as I stay sober, doors might continue to open up for me. But if I get drunk and high, they close really quickly. And I've experienced that multiple times, And so I get this job, and, it's kind of cool because I come from the streets, like I said, of homelessness, and I'm out there trying to survive and doing my thing or whatever. And with this job, it's like the street hustle. And I met some beautiful people at my job, and they accepted me, and they love me today. And some of them are here, and people actually show up for me today. When I was out there, I pushed a lot of people away in my life, and people that loved me, I pushed them away. Because if you're not doing what I'm doing, I don't want to be around you, I don't want to see my mom hurt. I don't want to see, the people that care about me hurt, And so, 6 months, I get a job, and I've been with that job ever since. My sobriety date is July 20th of 2017. I got 8 years, and I'm really grateful for that, But yeah, it's a blessing. Is I met my wife in addiction. Whew, man, I met my wife in addiction. She's in the program. She's got 6 years. Beautiful woman, She helps a lot of women out. Right now, she's at another sober house right now, speaking at a women's house. And she gives back freely what was given to her, just like I do, you know? And man, I've been through a lot with this woman. We were sleeping in cars together, you know, roaming the streets together. You know, it's beautiful to see, you know, people come out and actually make it, you know, one day at a time. And so we have this type of life together, which is really unknown to us, the peace. You know, when I came in here, they taught me everything. They taught me how to pay bills in Alcoholics Anonymous, what car insurance looks like in my own name, you know, how to keep a roof over my head, you know, and to stop gambling. And kind of, right? But yeah, you know, working the steps, you know, I got a sponsor at a year sober. I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend getting a sponsor earlier. But, you know, so I got this sponsor, and his name was Rick Steinman, and he passed away sober. But yeah, you know, I was taught a couple different things. But first of all, I went to any length to meet him. I took a bus, hour and a half bus ride just one way, about hour and 15-minute bus ride one way to meet him and work my steps. And I would take the bus back, and he taught me a lot of working the steps. He also taught me that, you know, we don't get people drunk and we don't keep them sober. You know, this has to be worked with a power greater than yourself, you know. He also taught me not to chase people in Alcoholics Anonymous, you know. You could be an example, and if they want it, they want it, you know. And unfortunately, you know, like I said, people die. But I'm so grateful for him. And I have a new sponsor, which I'm going through the book with right now. And he's teaching me a lot too. Both of them are very spiritual. They're very spiritual people. And I look up to both of them very much. Rest in peace. But I can tell you a couple cool things that happened in sobriety. I got married. I had a sober wedding, which was really cool. You know, and I've been to jury duty sober. So that is a blessing. I could, you know, I've never been to any type of court if it wasn't for myself, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's kind of like those big wins, you know, like you could just do certain things sober, you know what I mean? And I was in a meeting the other day with a newcomer. He had 10 days of sobriety, and he said he had a hard day. But guess what? He got pulled over right outside of the meeting before the meeting. And he was like, I'm winning because I wasn't drunk, right? So I'm like, that was powerful, man. When he said that, I said, welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous. You could win a lot while you're in this program, you know? And so I thought that was pretty cool, you know? But yeah, I don't know, I've been through a lot sober as well, you know? I look forward to being in meetings because I hear people that go through cancer and stay sober. I hear people that lose their children and stay sober. I hear a lot of different things that would definitely take me out, and people talking about their experiences and they're staying sober, you know? So I know when things hit the fan for me, I know where to turn, you know? And this is a we program. I don't do this alone. I get drunk by myself. I get high by myself, but I stay sober with you guys, you know? And that's a true blessing, you know? And they told me when I came into the program to get a sponsor, keep coming back, change everything, you know? Stop hanging out with people that I used to get drunk with and do all these things with and all that, you know? And it's just been a miracle that I've been able to, that I've been able to come in here and grow up with you guys, because that's really what I'm doing, is growing up with you guys, and really just being a part of each other's lives, you know. There's been multiple people that have been a part of my sobriety that have saved my life, you know, and I'm really grateful for that. And that's really mostly of what I have to share. I kind of told you how it was, what happened. What it's like now is that I do have a beautiful life. It's pretty peaceful. They keep telling me that I'm inside here with a madman, right? Some days are better than others, you know. Some days I just don't pick up a drink, you know. Some days people cuss me out. Sometimes I cuss them back out. I'm a work in progress, right? Just like how most of us are. I work on the strip, so sometimes I get real crazy, you know. And like what was shared, if you're doing timeshare, you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you know. But I work with beautiful people, and we do look out for each other. And you know, I'm just so really blessed to be here. You know, on the news the other day, remember that guy that stole the Salvation Army van and killed somebody? There goes I. Right? I work on the strip, like I said, there goes I, you know? And so I could be that person any day, you know? So I try to stay spiritually fit. I connect with AA on one way or another, reaching out. I work with others today, you know? Some stick around, some don't, you know? And it's sad to hear when people go out and they die, you know? But it's a miracle to see others grow in this program, you know, and take it one day at a time. And we have beautiful lives in here. This is a program of saving lives. It transforms lives. And so that I'm just really grateful. I think that's pretty much all I got. I'm just really grateful to be here with you guys. And, you know, life is good today as long as I stay out of my own head. And thank you so much for letting me share.